Welcome to today's Explainer. We're going to dive right into a seriously incredible story of profound transformation. We're talking about a guy who started out with virtually nothing. I mean, no money, no connections, and what looked like absolutely zero future. He was a night security guard, feeling completely trapped by his circumstances, until he totally flipped the script on his life. And honestly, the wildest part about this, he pulled it off using just one single, highly disciplined morning habit.
So I really want you to think about this for a second. What if you could completely overhaul your life, your career, and your entire mindset in exactly 90 days? Just 3 months. Now, I know to a lot of us that sounds like a massive stretch, right? Almost impossible. But as you'll see in this story, the stakes are very real, and the timeline is surprisingly short if you know exactly how to leverage your time.
All right, let's jump right into part 1, Trapped in the Night. Let's meet the main subject of our story, Thomas. He's a 32-year-old night security guard living in a really bustling factory town. And his daily routine is, frankly, absolutely grueling. Every single evening at 8 p.m., he goes to work, walks about 4 miles on his shift, and then at 6 a.m., just completely dead on his feet, he goes home to sleep right through the day while everyone else is out living their lives. Now, Thomas isn't lazy. He works incredibly hard, but he's totally caught in this brutal cycle between merely surviving and actually building. On the surviving side, he's stuck in a tiny one-room apartment, literally sleeping on a mattress on the floor with a broken fan, bringing a salary that barely keeps the lights on. On the flip side, building means utilizing the quiet dawn to learn new skills and actually take control of your future. Thomas feels like he's living his whole life backwards. He desperately wants to cross over to that building side, but he just has no earthly idea how to do it.
Which brings us to section 2, the breaking point.
You know, every great story of transformation really needs a catalyst, and for Thomas, it hits on a freezing Tuesday morning in November. He's just getting off his shift when his phone rings. It's his sister. Their mother has collapsed from sheer exhaustion and severe stress, so Thomas instantly jumps on a brutal 3-hour bus ride out to this tiny village clinic to see her. And there she is, lying in the clinic bed, incredibly weak. She reaches out, holds his hand, and pleads with him. "Please, my son, do not waste your life like I wasted mine." It is just absolutely heartbreaking. Thomas steps outside the clinic to catch his breath. It's exactly 5 a.m. The village is dead quiet, the birds are just starting to chirp, and right there, in that darkness, right before the dawn, Thomas makes a firm, unshakable decision. He whispers to himself that he is absolutely not going to live like this anymore.
On the bus ride back into town, this incredible, completely serendipitous encounter happens. Thomas spots a sharply dressed man in his 50s reading a book across the aisle. It's 6 a.m., and Thomas suddenly recognizes him. It's Mr. Chun, a really successful local businessman who owns several shops in town. Desperate for any kind of guidance, Thomas goes up and asks him flat out why a wealthy guy is riding a regular city bus so early in the morning. Mr. Chun smiles and explains that he wakes up at 4:30 every single day to read and plan before the rest of the world even stirs. He takes one look at Thomas and diagnoses his problem perfectly. He says, "Because you are awake when the world sleeps and asleep when the world works, it's no wonder you're stuck."
Mr. Chun then introduces Thomas to something truly mind-blowing in Section 3, the math of morning. See, Mr. Chun's secret of 5 a.m. isn't just some fluffy motivational quote you see on social media. It's actually deeply rooted in undeniable math. This entire life-changing system relies on just one single number, 2. Specifically dedicating exactly 2 hours a day from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. Why those hours? Because at 5 a.m., the world is completely silent. There are 0 notifications buzzing your phone, 0 meetings, 0 distractions. Plus, your willpower is at its absolute peak. It is just 2 hours of pure, unadulterated focus. Now watch what happens when we actually compound that daily habit. 2 hours a day quickly becomes 14 hours a week, which becomes 60 hours a month. When you compound that out, that amounts to 730 extra hours of focused building per year. I mean, that is a massive competitive advantage just hiding right there in plain sight.
And here is the really crazy mathematical reality. To put that into perspective, those 730 hours equal 3 entire extra months of time. That's 91 full workdays. So by simply making the choice to wake up at 5 a.m., you're literally granting yourself 3 whole extra months of time every single year that everyone else is just wasting away in bed.
Okay, so the math undeniably makes sense. But what do you actually do with all that time? Let's check out Section 4, the 2-hour system.
So, Thomas's issue wasn't just a lack of time. He desperately needed a framework. Mr. Chun essentially drew him a map.
He explained that right now, Thomas's life was like a house falling apart because he spent 100% of his time just surviving and zero time actually pouring a foundation. So here is the exact non-negotiable blueprint he gave him. Hour 1, from 5 to 6 a.m., is strictly to build skills. No watching TV, definitely no scrolling on your phone. You use this hour to learn something that'll directly impact your wallet, taking free online courses, learning a new language, or picking up a trade. Then, hour 2, from 6 to 7 a.m., is to build body and mind. You exercise for 30 minutes, you read, and you plan out your day. As Mr. Chun put it, your body is your vehicle. If the vehicle breaks down, you've got absolutely nothing.
But look, a system is only as good as the discipline you use to enforce it. Let's walk through Mr. Chun's strict prerequisites. Rule 1, no negotiation. You wake up at 5 a.m. every single day. The second you say, oh, just today I'll sleep in, you fail. Rule 2, sleep by 9 p.m. You absolutely cannot cheat sleep and expect this to work. And Rule 3, which is absolutely crucial, push through the painful first 21 days. Your body's going to hate you, your brain's going to make up a million excuses to stay in that warm bed, but you have got to push through until the habit becomes your new normal.
So, did it work? Let's find out in section 5, A Life Transformed. Thomas actually took the leap and accepted the challenge. He completely flipped his sleep schedule, sleeping right after his night shift so he'd be awake during the day, and getting to bed early enough to hit that magic 5 a.m. mark. He started sitting at this tiny little table in the dark, just grinding through free Excel and accounting tutorials on YouTube. Let's look at his 90-day timeline. Day 1, pure pain and exhaustion. But by day 20, his body actually adapts. He starts waking up at 4:58 a.m., literally 2 minutes before his alarm even goes off. By month 2, he's crushed 3 different online courses in accounting and Excel, and he's even dropped some weight from his daily walks. He builds this incredible spreadsheet that perfectly organizes his factory's inventory. And then, day 87. His supervisor calls him into the office. They're expanding the accounting department, and they offer him a day shift office job that literally doubles his salary. In under 3 months, his daily discipline completely rewrote his reality. Now it's your turn. Let's move to our final section, your 5 a.m. challenge.
You see, Thomas's massive success wasn't because he got lucky or had some immense natural talent. The guy had no degree, no connections, and no money. What he had was a choice. He chose to utilize the time when the rest of the world was fast asleep. So, here are the exact, actionable steps you need to take tonight. First, set your alarm for exactly 5 a.m., not 5:15, exactly 5. Next, put your phone all the way across the room so you physically have to stand up to turn it off. Pick just one skill to build in that first hour. Maybe it's a certification, a new business idea, or coding. Commit to doing this for exactly 90 days. And most importantly, guard that 9 p.m. bedtime with your life. Cut out those wasted evenings of endless doom scrolling and binge watching.
Let's fast forward a year. Thomas is now the lead accountant at his company. He's moved his mother to town, got her proper medical care, and their lives are totally different. But guess what? He still wakes up at 5 a.m. every single day. When his coworkers ask him, "Thomas, why do you still do it? You've already made it." His answer perfectly hits the nail on the head. He tells them, success is not a destination. It is a daily practice. The habit itself is the success.
So the big question we're left with today is simply this. Are you going to hit snooze tomorrow? Think about it. You likely have way more resources right now than Thomas ever did. You've got the internet, endless education, boundless opportunity. Your future self is quite literally waiting on the other side of that alarm clock. Will you make them wait another 5 years? Or will you join the 5 a.m. club and start building the life you actually want? Thanks for hanging out and exploring this awesome explainer with me today. The choice is yours.